I used to do over hours. Why? Because I wanted to fund a certain lifestyle. I used to drive a certain car because I knew girls liked certain cars. I used to go to the gym, maybe for health reasons, but also to look pleasing to the opposite gender. Let's be real here. Now I asked myself a question. I said, bruv, I've got so many masters. Opposite gender is my God. A'udhu billah, back in the days. Money is my God. This lifestyle is my God. You know what I said? Bro, Banda, I'd rather have one Lord that is deserving of worship and I obey him. Because you are bound to follow something. Lucas, don't tell me you're not following anything now. You are affected by your society. Right. You are following a way of life. Be it the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you think.
Yeah, but I'm free to do what I want.
No, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
No, I am.
We believe in free will, but what I'm talking about is something different here. Are you telling me when you open TV, when you see an ad, when you're watching YouTube, when you're walking and having a dialogue, these have no influence on the way you live?
Yeah, but I'm free to pick and choose what I want. I don't have to just...
How do you pick and choose when you've been told what to think?
I'm not told what to think. I think what I want to think.
Have you read a book called Manufacturing Consent? Okay. You need to understand something. People in power work in two ways. They either come and tell you something directly, or they condition you indirectly. So either they come and say to you, do A, go to war, or they'll come and say, you know what, we'll pay you 36 grand a year, 40 grand. They've got the same results in different ways. So the point I'm trying to say is, the moment you come and tell me, you're like, oh, just because God told you, I'm like, yeah, exactly. If God told me climb the tree, come down and do 3 precepts and 4 backflips, did God say it? When should I do it? The difference between me and you is this.
Yeah, but no, I would never do that.
No. I would. You know why? Because God is telling me, and He knows best, and I would do exactly that. Now you would have a different lifestyle that you would do that is influenced by society, and let me tell you something, and you don't even know where to stop. There is no mark. Be whatever you like, marry a piano, say that I'm a tree, you're all over, not you, people are all over the place, yeah? And you call this freedom. That is the biggest enslavement I've seen in my life. The biggest enslavement that you don't know what you are. What am I, a man, a woman? No, I'm not a man, a woman. Okay, what am I? I'm a tree. Okay, no, I'm a donkey. No, I marry a piano. This is freedom. That's why a philosopher said, man is born free, but in shackles everywhere. I choose those shackles, which I believe, which I got my freedom, is with my Lord.
Well, why have you got to have such a negative mindset? Seeing everything.
This is the most positive mindset I'm telling you.
I'm a slave to Allah, I'm a slave to
I'm a slave. Let me tell you something. You know,
Why do you have to think so negative?
Let me tell you something. This is positivity, which you've been conditioned to see as negativity. Okay. I went to see a friend who gave me Dawah recently. He's the one who gave me Dawah. And I was staying with him and he reminded me of something which I laughed. I didn't even know. He said to me, Ali, you know, you used to come to my restaurant and he used to say to me, slave of Allah, but I ain't no slave to nobody. You know, he used to tell me this. I was like, did I really say that? He's like, yeah. Because he used to always come and say, I don't like this concept of slave to God. And he goes, gave you Dawah. He goes, one day you came and he said, you know what? I'm a slave to Allah. Do you know why? Because the penny dropped. Because when the concept, there's a connotation that comes with the word slave. I understand. What I'm saying is, Lucas, you are a slave now. I am a slave. Our masters are different.
I'm not a slave.
You are. Lucas. Are you telling me your lifestyle has not, okay, let me put it like this.
You're trying really hard here.
I'm not trying to talk. Actually, it's 2%. Lucas, when you want to go find the opposite gender, how do you go about it?
Just talk to them.
How? Where do you meet them?
Anywhere, like at work, with friends, family.
Okay. So, when you meet them, what's the protocols? Would you want to have, well, you're a man, you would want intimacy.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, you have been taught that. You wasn't born like that.
Taught what, sorry?
That you would meet a female and you would want intimacy without marriage.
No, you're not taught that. That's just...
No, you were taught that. Was you born with that?
No, like you said, men want to have intimacy, they want to have sex.
Good. Let me ask me the same question.
Okay.
How do I find, yeah?
Yeah, no,
like I'm married now, but let me tell you, like if I wasn't married, I would say to you, for example, I would go and speak to people that I might know, that might refer me to someone. Okay. If I meet somebody, I would go about it the right way. I would want to speak to the father. I would want to get married. Okay. What's the difference between me and you? You want to go and meet somebody, maybe in a bar, maybe in a workplace, somewhere.
I never said that. I said I would talk to someone, maybe talk to the family.
That's fine.
That's what you said.
That's fine. But I'm talking about, is your aim to get married or to have a partner who you have intimacy, get to know her, and then marriage?
Well, I think that's one of the aims of marriage, is to have intimacy.
I understand, but a lot of people are doing intimacy before marriage.
Right.
So I'm saying, when you meet a woman, do you say, I would like to marry you now? Or do you say, let's get to know each other, intimacy, go out?
Yeah, get to know each other.
Okay, I'm the opposite. Right. I'm saying I'm the opposite. What has taught you that this is the correct way to get to know somebody? And who has taught me that which one is correct?
I'm guessing it is.
Okay. Who has taught you that you should go and meet a woman and then after that expect intimacy and go out? Who's taught you that this is right?
I guess society.
So 1 minute ago you said you're not a slave.
There's no connect. What's the connection?
Okay, look, please understand me. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to make a point. Just please understand me.
So you're saying I'm a slave to society?
Yes, because you just said I got that from society. What I do, I got it from who? God. Okay. That is what I mean when I say slave. I'm a slave as well, by the way. I've never said you're not. I'm a slave as well.
Yeah,
I'm a slave to God. I'm saying that people who follow this lifestyle, society is just one of them. It can be friends and peer pressure. It can be what you see. Dating. Why don't you know those ads you watch, yeah? Do you know how to pull a girl in 5 easy steps? You know those ones on YouTube ads, yeah? Okay. Why are they there? Because they are there to tell you how to attract the opposite gender. So you are enslaved to that way of thinking. I say that's wrong. Because number one, you are meeting a woman, which is, at the end of the day, you have no security. She has no security. Because any of you guys can change your mind and say, oh, she's boring, I don't like intimacy. And you say bye-bye to her. Now she's emotionally hurt. And sometimes most men are suicidal. Most men kill themselves, yeah? So the thing is here, now a lifestyle has been given to you, which is not good for you. I have a lifestyle which has been prescribed to me, which is not only good for me, but it is from a source that is deserving of being enslaved to. That's the difference I'm saying.
Makes sense. So say that again.
So basically, you are being enslaved unintentionally, not intentionally, to a society that's telling you how to move, how to operate, how to make money, how to get to know the opposite gender, and so am I. The difference between me and you is this.
Yeah, I can pick and choose which one of them I want to take.
No.
You just have to follow.
No. Because if you was to pick and choose which one you want, you wouldn't be going down the route of saying, let me have intimacy before marriage, let me get to know her in a club or for a friend.
Yeah, or I could be a Christian and say, no, I'm not going to do that. Whatever.
Good. What I'm saying is the following. You have some sort of influence on your decisions.
Yeah.
So you're not free. You're not absolutely, you have influence.
Right.
You're saying, no, Ali, you have God, you have to obey. Me, I'm a free man. And I'm saying, no, it's not the case.
Okay. Right, so you're saying we're all basically slaves to
Thank
something.
you. And then you decide who do you want to be enslaved to. Right. I chose God because he's deserving of my worship and he's the one that knows best for me. You're choosing a lifestyle which, like even, for example, you leaving Islam. I know there was some social influences, 100%. I know you didn't wake up one day and say, oh, no. There was things where you was like, this is morally wrong, like enslavement you talked about, yeah? You said being a slave it's for example wrong. And where did this come from? Now me, I agree, but your definition of what enslavement in Islam is completely different to what you've been told, which I believe is a misconception that may be one of the reasons you left Islam. The point is this: you are also morally being taught something by subjective morality which has no anchorage, because it changes. Like the LGBTQ community, go to them and say, is love love? Love is love. Woo! Okay. What about incest? No. Why not? Why is it not love and love when it's brother and sister, when it's dad and daughter?
Yeah, but I just told you that in the Quran there's verses that are abrogated where the verses that were abrogated are all about peace and love and that, and then
it wasn't. No, it wasn't. See, that's a misconception.
I can't think of any.
That's what I'm tying in chapter 60 verse 8, and it's not abrogated. Allah does not forbid you from being just and kind to those who did not fight you based on your faith and kick you out of your houses. It's not abrogated. I did this with Tommy Robinson a long time ago. I did his janazah. He came with the same thing, yeah? This verse is not abrogated.
Alright, well that's just one example, but...
Yeah, but that example answers your question because it's not abrogated. Because you're saying all the peaceful verses are abrogated by war verses. Show me one verse that is barbaric, like it's unacceptable.
Well, okay, I'll give you an example. Where that verse where it says, I'm paraphrasing, it says, it has been prescribed for you to fight, even though you might not want to fight. But Allah knows what's best for you.
Yes. I think it's Surah Tawbah, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's telling someone to go against their conscience. That's saying to them, don't fight.
No, not conscious, fear. Allah's talking about fear, not conscious. Yeah. Do you think it's easy? That's why when sisters come and say, oh, Islam, why does it allow a man to have 4 wives? Well, hold on a second, darling. I'll cook, you go and fight and get your limbs chopped off. Yeah, I'll make amazing biryani when you come home, yeah? There's things that are prescribed to us as Muslim man. Bruv, I have to go war for my wife. If a burglar breaks in, I'm not gonna tell my wife, darling, go sort that out, let me know when it's done. I have to go and start fighting the guy. If a guy comes with a shank, peak, bro, man needs to go fight. And I might die. You know how many men are in prison because of their wives, yeah? Or their girlfriends, or whatever, yeah? the point is this: Allah's talking about those who fear death, not conscious, because that's two different. If it was conscious means we're going to fight the people that we are oppressing and we shouldn't. Fear is something separate. We need to fight. Like for example, Germany, the Nazi Germany, they were killing a lot of people. Do you think the people in the UK were like, yes, we want to go and fight? They're like, oh man, I was chilling at home. Now I need to go fight these bloody Nazis and I'm going to die. They fear. Consciously, they're like, it's the right thing to do, but I'm scared, but I have to go. Do you get it? So the thing is, it's Allah is talking about, you might hate something which is good for you and you might love something which is bad for you. What Allah is saying is when you're fighting for that cause, it has to be for a just cause. You can't go and kill people. The Prophet forbade the killing of innocent people. He saw Khalid bin Walid. He killed a woman, we don't know, unintentionally. He said, oh Allah, I am free from what Khalid did. Abu Bakr radiallahu made it very clear to the armies, you are not allowed to kill men, women, children, monks, trees, like burn trees. So the battle that being fought is a just battle. So it's not your jihad, what you have in your mind, like, oh yeah, go kill everybody. That's not Islam. We're talking about a just battle of oppression that's been done, and I'm going and fighting, I'm scared, and God says, look, you might hate something which is good for you, because when you die, we believe martyrs go to heaven.
Okay.
So it's just, Lucas, it's just like at the end of the day, and like I said before, you've had manipulation or some kind of things that has caused you to say, I don't want to be a Muslim. This is understandable, but don't come and say to me it's via your own choice, in the sense of, I believe in free will, of course you made that choice, but it was a manipulation from somewhere which gave you a misinformation of, oh, in Islam, that for example,
I could say I was manipulated into becoming a Muslim in the first place.
No, see, okay, no, because what did we say to you? What is the contention that you have that you left Islam? Let's discuss that, because then you will know, is it manipulation? Are we speaking the truth, or are the people telling you the lies to speaking the truth? So the Prophet's marriage to Aisha, was that one of the issues?
No, so
okay, what was the
issues
issue?
For me, it was just basic stuff like, why do I have to pray 5 times a day? Why do I have to do wudu? I mentioned the thing about drinking water with 3 sips. I was like, what the hell is this? It's just like, it's arbitrary rules.
Okay, okay, that's very interesting, but Lucas, you left Islam because of that.
Well, yeah, because it's like, who wants to like get up to pray Fajr, you know? Like,
I do.
Yeah, but
and and by the way, that makes you a Muslim. It doesn't make me anything special. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I'm like what?
And by the way,
I have to get up.
And by the way, it's hard. Yeah, don't get it twisted. It's hard. By the way, when I wake up, I don't go woo. I'm like
exactly.
Okay.
That's my point. So you see what I mean?
No. But 1 second. It's very important. When I wake up, so for example, go and speak to the sisters who wear the hijab. Yeah. Most of them would say, I struggle with it. I struggle with it. It's sometimes very difficult, but they still wear it for the sake of God.
And they're not happy about it. They don't like it.
Yes.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Some are not. So like for example, waking up for Fajr is hard.
Yeah.
But I get it up because my Lord is deserving of it. When I eat the food and enjoy His blessings, I don't complain.
Yeah, that's different. Everyone enjoys eating.
Do you know
food.
people are starving to death in countries?
Yeah.
And so let me tell my point. Because you're so desensitized to eating that you're disregarding how important food is. You're here saying, well, that's food. Do you know there are people starving?
No, I'm saying eating food is enjoyable. Doing salah and wudu.
No. 1 second.
Rolling up your trousers above your ankles is not.
So what you're saying? What you're saying is the following. I want a religion that fits what I want.
Yeah.
Basically, your desires. Because Allah says, have you seen the one who takes his desires as his own God? Because what you're doing is the following. I don't like A, B, C, D. That's why I'm not going to follow it. You are literally, what you're doing is worshipping your desires.
No, what I'm saying is, those things, you can't give me any logic behind them.
One second.
Doing salah 5 times.
No, 1 second. Who said that we do it based on logic?
No, I didn't say that.
You did. You said, what's the logic in praying 5 times a day?
Yeah.
Who said it has to be based on logic?
Yes.
Where did you get this? No, who gave the barrier or this yardstick that it has to be logic?
Yeah, so it goes back to what you said, like if God told you to climb up a tree
exactly.
and do some
yes.
whatever you do.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't question
yes.
it.
No, sorry.
So
we're not Christians. We're not Christians.
I wouldn't do something just because I'm told to
No.
You know
That's the problem, because you've had the issue. You've got to know Islam in such a different way that has caused you to do this. When I came to Islam, I acknowledged a few things. Number 1, does God exist? Yes, He does. Is this God a man? No, He isn't. Does He sleep? No, He doesn't. Okay, good. Islam, for example, after studying many religions, gave me, firstly, I acknowledge that the Quran has its miracles and it's proven to me that it's from God. So I accepted the concept of God in Islam. it was aligned with my logic, and it was aligned with the miracles that it presented, the Quran. Number 2, the Quran is from God. Number 3, the Prophet Muhammad is his final messenger. The moment I acknowledge that God exists, Allah, the Quran is the last messenger, the Quran is the last book, and the Prophet Muhammad is the final messenger, I don't need to know anything else except no commandments. All I need to be told is commandments. Okay. For example, can I drink alcohol?
Why did you accept that?
Because it speaks to itself. Number 1, the Trinity is against God's nature. Number 1, period. There's Christians that leave Christianity because of this. God being one and unique is evidence to my logic, and it's evidence to his nature, which is aligned with my fitrah. Number 1. The Quran has miracles in it that nobody can explain. It has prophecies in it, and it's the only book that has been preserved. Number 2. The Prophet Muhammad being the final messenger, there is hundreds of, if not thousands of evidences to his prophethood.
Such as?
Why can you give me many? For example, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, what he prophesied. What he prophesied.
As far as I know, there's a book right there. He didn't prophesy very much.
He didn't prophesy very much? Okay, let's go through it. Let's go through it. Firstly, if the Quran was from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, how did it know the following thing? In the Battle of Rome, Allah says, Gulubat al-Rum, the Romans have been defeated. But they would come back and win in a matter of 3 to 7 years.
That's just a good guess.
Let's see if it's a good guess. Let's see if it's a good guess. No. But we need to put into perspective now. Let's put into perspective. If the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was not a true prophet, who would his bets be with? The Romans or the Persians? Because bear in mind, the Persians nearly slaughtered the Romans. Like them coming back, let alone existing, the empire existing, was a dream. As a prophet who is let's say, A'udhu Billah, he was a false prophet, who would he put his bets on? Persians or the Romans?
Said the Persians.
The Persians, okay. He does the opposite. Or like the Quran does the opposite. It says that the Romans, let alone existing, they're going to come back and defeat the Persians in a matter of 3 to 7 years. Now historians say the way the Persians defeated the Romans, the kingdom it was in the brink of destruction. So now this is a very great risk, because if he gets this wrong, Islam falls on the floor. One mistake and Islam is finished. And he makes such a bold claim, and he says no, the Romans are going to defeat the Persians. Now all odds against it, it's as good as me saying the Amazon jungle, you know, the group, the tribe, they're going to defeat America in 3 to 7 years. You come and laugh at me, say Ali's lost the plot. Have you guys seen Ali? It's going to be mad. Yeah. Now what happens after 3 to 7 years? Exactly what the Quran prophesies. How did they know? And how did they give such odds? Why pick such a risky thing?
Well, I don't know about the history, so I can't argue.
Okay, so I'm asking you, why would they pick such a risky bet? Because they could have gone with the Persians. It would have been good. The Persians have won and they're going to remain victorious. They went opposite. Right. Risky, very risky. But it came to be true. Why would such a prophet take false prophets, let's say, according to some people? Why would he take that risk? It goes against his message. He would be like, bro, Persians, they won. Whoa, let me tell you about the Persians. They're going to stay victorious forever.
I mean, that's one example.
I'll give you, many. For example, Allah talks about in the Quran, when it talks about Musa alayhi salam and Joseph, in the Bible, it calls both of the rulers pharaohs. So if you open the Bible and read the time of Moses, it calls the ruler a pharaoh. When you go to the time of Joseph in the Bible, it also calls the ruler a pharaoh. This is historically inaccurate. In the Quran, when you read the story of Moses, God Almighty refers to the ruler as a pharaoh. But when you read Surah Yusuf, Joseph, it calls the ruler a king. Now you be thinking, oh, what's king? Okay, what's so deep? When they discovered the Rosetta Stone to decipher the hieroglyphics, because the hieroglyphics were the dead language. When they deciphered the Rosetta Stone and deciphered the hieroglyphics, they found out that at the time of Joseph, there was no such dynasty of pharaohs. It didn't exist. Now this debunks two issues. Number one, that the Quran copied from the Bible, because if the Quran copied from the Bible, it would have copied the same mistakes. Number one. Number two, how did it know?
Look, I mean, if you're going to say it's because the Quran is from God.
No, I'm asking you, how did it know?
So I've got no idea.
No, how did it know? No, just logically. How do you... Like, you know what? Call it chance. Call it whatever you like. How did you know?
Well, I say it's from Allah. The Quran is from Allah.
Okay. So okay. Well, that's good. Okay.
I mean, what else? What's the
no.
options?
But that's because you're being you're being sincere. No, if it's sincerity to like.
I mean, I could say it was a lucky guess again, but you know, what are the chances of that?
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Let's go with that. Just for let me give you another one. In Surah Masad, in the Quran, God Almighty is saying that the Prophet's uncle and his wife will end up in the hellfire as disbelievers. They're going to die as disbelievers. Now, what if I say the following, and listen carefully because it might be a little bit confusing, yeah? If I say that there's a man called Michael. Michael is going to die as a disbeliever because the Quran says he's going to die as a disbeliever. What would Michael have to do to disprove me?
Just not be, just believe.
Good, you're clever. Some people don't get it. Now, the Quran is saying Abu Lahab and his wife are going to die disbelievers, yani.
Yeah.
All he had to do, his uncle who hated Islam, was to say, La ilaha illallah. Yeah. Your Quran, throw it in the bin now. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's just been totally disproven.
Yeah, but he's a disbeliever, so he would disbelieve that surah as well.
One second. If he hates it, go to Hartoon, and tell her this. Wallah, you know what she said? She say, La ilaha illallah, just to disprove the Quran. If you go to Hartoon will say, La ilaha illallah, just to disprove the Quran. I'm saying the following.
About her,
no, I know. It's talking about the Prophet's uncle, which happened in reality. Right. All the Prophet's uncle had to do was this. Yeah. Oh, so your book is prophesizing that I'll die as a disbeliever, yeah? Okay, I accept Islam. Yeah. Thank you. Disproven. But he died as a disbeliever.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point. He's a disbeliever, so he's not going to believe it.
But you're not understanding. Look. If he wants to disprove Islam,
what was he trying to disprove Islam?
He hated
Did he
this.
Just not care about
Brother, the verse talks about how they were torturing the Prophet. Okay. His wife was putting thorns where he walks. Yeah. They hated his guts. If you hate his guts, you will do anything. Yeah. He died as a disbeliever.
But Ali's trying to say, look at the claim.
The claims are here. Now, you know what? Chance again, no problem. Let's go with it. All day, every day. Now, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, a time will come where barefooted Bedouins will race with one another to build tall buildings. Yeah. Now, he could have said, a group of nations will come and build tall buildings. That's general. Many nations have built tall buildings. He said, barefooted Bedouins. Where's the tallest building now?
It's Dubai.
It's in Dubai. I actually went to it. It's quite scary. They are racing one another, and
they weren't barefooted when they built the building.
No. Listen. They were barefooted 50 years ago in the desert. I watched the documentary. Yeah. These guys were desert people, simple, and literally barefooted, in the desert. Happy days. It's talking about them. It's talking about who it's referring to. It didn't say they're going to build it barefooted. Yeah. Barefooted Bedouins would race with one another for tall buildings. Chance?
Is that in the Quran or the Hadith?
That's Hadith. I'm giving you mixture. Yeah? Should we say chance to that as well? There's plenty.
Chance? Okay.
Let's say chance to that. No problem. Let's say chance to that.
I think the chances are pretty slim for them all to be.
And that's why I like your sincerity. The Prophet is standing on Mount Uhud. And Mount Uhud shakes. And he says, be steady, O man Uhud. For there is a Prophet, a Siddiq, and 2 martyrs standing. Listen very carefully. For there is a Prophet himself standing, Siddiq, Abu Bakr, and 2 martyrs. Abu Bakr and Uthman. That's very interesting. Now, hold on a second. This is the early times of Islam. Do you know how Umar ibn Khattab died?
Was he killed?
He was murdered. He was stabbed. Do you know how Uthman died? At the hands of other Muslims. He was stabbed. How did the Prophet know there's a Prophet standing, a Siddiq, and 2 martyrs? That's a bold claim, isn't it? How did he know that?
So that'd be 5 people, isn't it? There were just 3 of them.
Sorry?
Because you said a Prophet, a Siddiq, and 2 martyrs.
Yes, there was 4 people there.
Yeah.
So himself, a Siddiq, he didn't say that to Abu Bakr. And Abu Bakr died in natural death. Yeah. But he specified the other 2. He said, and 2 martyrs. He didn't say 3 martyrs, because Abu Bakr would have been there, but he didn't die of... let's say another chance. Many chances. It's happening, no problem. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said to Ali, radiallahu anhu, there will come a time where you will have basically a dispute with Aisha, my wife. When that day comes, and when he said that, Ali said, what a bad day it will be for me, because he thought, like, how could I have a war with the Prophet's wife? He said that day you'll be correct, but forgive her. This came to be in the battle of Jamal, yeah? This battle actually happened. Not only that, the Prophet specified something to Aisha which she didn't forget. He said, and when the day comes when dogs are barking, or something along those lines, yeah, return to your home, or something like that. And Aisha said, when this war happened and she realized she was wrong, and on the way back home or something like that, there was a group of dogs barking, she goes, I remembered what the messenger said. From that day on, I went to my house and I didn't leave it. How did he know and foretell such things that's going to happen?
See, the thing is about all of those prophecies, apart from one of them about the Arabs building skyscrapers,
yes.
they were all prophesied about events that happened shortly after.
No.
History and
it wasn't shortly after. We're talking about maybe decades.
Yeah, but that's still shortly after.
So how? Okay, that's fine. How did he prophesize that? Like, if I prophesy something specific,
so it could be fake. That's what I'm saying. The history could have been written shortly after the prophecy.
How could this history be written
at the same time?
How could that be possible?
Don't you see my point?
No, sorry.
So it's like if the Quran, so if you're saying the Prophet prophesied something,
yes,
and then it happened like a few years or a decade later,
yeah,
right? That could have all been written at the same time, because it's like 1400 years later now.
I don't get it. No, 1 second. I don't get it. So 1 second. He prophesied something.
Okay, so like,
by the way, he prophesied hundreds. I'm giving you a few. Yeah. So you're telling me 100 prophecies.
Yeah.
And once he died, people started writing it down or acted it out?
No, so let's say today I said, Ali's going to be at Speaker's Corner, right? And then
that's not really a prophecy. No, give something more bold.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, but that's absolutely straw manning the thing.
No, that's exactly the same as what you're saying.
No, it's not, because I'm known to come to Speaker's Corner. It's like saying Ali Dawah will never come again because he's prone to come so many times. That would be implausibility. But what you're saying, we're talking about impossibilities happening here, because what you're saying is that these companions had to act out. So Umar had to say, get somebody to stab me, so the full prophecy gets fulfilled.
Never happened. It's just a made-up story.
It's a made-up story. So we have science of Hadith. So we have chains of transmission, which is, for example, testimony. We know that it is a big conspiracy to say that didn't happen, and you believe in testimony. Do you believe China exists?
No, look,
I'm talking about
agnostic. I don't believe anything.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, I've given you many examples. How could this be orchestrated?
Yeah.
How could this be false? I'm trying to get that.
No, so at the beginning, you asked me like, what do I believe? I said I'm agnostic.
Yes.
So it means basically I don't believe anything unless it can be proven to me or I accept it.
No. What's your criteria? Because I need to know so I can measure it by that.
I don't know.
How do you,
criteria are just arbitrary.
How do you believe it? What's your criteria to believe something? For example, do you believe China exists?
So I only believe things that I can see, hear, taste, smell, or touch.
So you're conscious?
Sorry?
Do you have a conscious?
Yes.
Where?
I don't know, in my brain. Or...
Can you show me?
No.
Can I taste it?
No.
Can I smell it?
No, you can see the evidence of it.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Show me. No, I don't know. I'm talking to a body. I want to see your conscious.
I don't understand the question.
I want to see your conscious. You're conscious,
you
yeah?
Can't.
I don't believe you're conscious. You don't exist.
Okay.
Can I say that? Would it be fair?
No, because you can see me in front of you.
No, I'm saying you, not your conscious.
Yeah. No, I'm saying... So, what was your question?
Your criteria was, if I see, touch, smell, 5 senses.
Yeah.
But that goes against you because there's stuff you believe in that you can't see.
No,
like you're conscious.
Well, okay, then I don't believe in conscience.
So then you negate your existence?
Well, no, it's like saying like, you believe that, like, people say they believe in a soul. I would say, well, I don't believe in a soul, it's just like your brain and...
Okay, but what I'm saying is it doesn't work for you because there's things that you believe in that you don't see.
No, there's nothing I believe in that I can't see.
You're conscious.
Well, I didn't say I believed in my conscience.
So then how so then how do you exist without your conscience?
Well, maybe I don't have a conscience.
But do you see? But what you're doing is if you're saying like you're not here.
Yeah.
Are you here?
Yeah.
So then you're denying that. You're saying no, I don't accept it.
No, I'm not denying. What I'm saying is you're talking about things like conscience or whatever.
Yeah, because I'm using your criteria. No, but I'm using your criteria.
Yeah, my criteria were if you can't see it, touch it.
No, but then it goes against you. For example, not the earth. No, like for example, what about love?
Yeah.
Show me the concept of love. I want to see what love is.
Love, walking down the street.
Yeah, can you show me that I can go, this is the love I have for my child.
Because love is not a thing that you can see.
But you believe.
So you believe it?
Yeah.
So you do believe in things that you don't see?
Well, I guess I do.
So that's my point. Guys, it's not funny. It's not funny, guys. No, it's not funny. It's not funny.
You're right.
No, I know, but we don't want to make it. But we don't want to make it an ego thing because it's not here to. I'm not here to earn points.
You didn't love to make fun of it.
No, I know, but it might come across like that, and then it will affect the message I'm giving. And they're taking the mick out of me, and it might get him further away.
Okay.
Just for everyone, even myself. Sometimes I fall into yeah. So please, like we're not just yeah. Do you get? I'm just trying to sincerely engage with
things
it.
like love or things
Yeah.
like
The reason I'm mentioning that is because the reason I'm mentioning that is because the criteria doesn't work. It goes against people like yourself, agnostics or atheists. Like for example, China. Did you go to China? Did you see China? But you testify that exists because of testimony. So we believe in testimony. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because we have testimony to these events that happened, and it'll be a mass conspiracy to have 50 to 100 people claiming that A happened. And do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's just people believe things without evidence.
But how can they believe without evidence when they're saying that Umar ibn Khattab got stabbed? And that's the fact that hundreds of companions saw it and they narrated back to us. It's a mass conspiracy.
Okay, so the Christians believe that Jesus was crucified. Muslims don't believe that. So
okay.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing because the thing is they are claiming to, number one, by who? They're relying on the Bible.
They said they had eyewitness.
No. Where did they get that from? The Bible?
From the apostles, like Peter.
Yeah. And where is that? In the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay, is the Bible a reliable source?
I don't know, you tell me.
There isn't. That's why we talk to them and say, look, you're referring...
The Quran's not a reliable source.
No, because we have testimony and we have, for example, the Quran has been memorized by thousands, if not millions of people, and we can testify to its preservation. Number two, we have a chain of transmission, science of Hadith, that we know the people in the chain. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you want to go this way? Yeah. So the thing is, oh my gosh, that's bad. How have you been standing there all this time? Let's do this. Yeah, I'm not okay at all. I'm not okay at all, mate. So the thing is, we have chain of transmission. So we know each person in the chain. So for example, when the Prophet, you said, why do I have to drink water sitting down? Because that comes from a chain of transmission that the Prophet did that and the companions saw him do that and they did it and then they transcribed that and said, how would the Prophet drink? Oh, usually we'll sit down, sitting and taking 3 sips. Oh, okay, we'll do that too. And that came all the way to us today. Do you get it? So I think what the issue was, Lucas, with yourself, which I'll wrap up because I need to pray as well, is that, and we can continue as well, I see you as a sincere person, okay? I see good in you. But what I would say is, one thing that I would advise you is that you need to understand any way of life you pick, it should not, the bar should not be based on what you want it to be. Because then if that's the case...
But we all do what we want to do.
No, I don't. Do you think I wake up for Fajr because I want to? Or because I'm told to?
How do I know you wake up for Fajr? You might just say.
Well, that's true actually, yes. You have to assume the best in me. Have good assumptions, yeah? Okay, I wake up for the morning prayer. It's hard, but I do it because I'm told to. Yeah? And obviously the love grows to it. The point I'm trying to say is that if you have this yardstick of, I don't understand why I have to do this, go back to knowing who God is. Because let me put it like this. If your mother told you to do something, which you might dislike, argument's sake, you will do it because of what she's done for you and her level of love you have towards her. These all stem from lack of tawheed, knowing who your Lord is. It's impossible for a man to know who Allah is and say, I don't want to pray. Impossible. Let me tell you something. Do you hate your nails? How could you hate the one that gave you it?
Yeah, but there's people who are Muslims and they leave Islam. So
No. You know why? Because they don't know who Allah is. They have a misconception of Allah is someone who wants to throw me in hell. What kind of a God is that? Sorry, excuse me. Who said Allah wants to throw anyone in hellfire? Allah says in the Quran, it's what you earned. You put yourself there, fella. Don't blame anyone else. So the thing is, they have a misunderstanding of God, and then they think that's who it is, and they say, I don't believe in that God. And you know what I said to them? I don't believe in the same God too, because that's not the Lord I worship. So once you get to know God, because what happens is a lot of believers come to Islam, and the first thing they're told is, stop eating pork, don't drink alcohol, pray, and they don't know why. We had a sister who accepted Islam with us. She came with her spouse, crying. We said, what's the problem? Oh, stop eating pork, stop drinking alcohol, but I feel empty. I said, sister, do you pray? No. This is the soul's food. Drinking, look, not drinking alcohol and pork, it's okay, physically, you're not doing it. But the point is this, how are you spiritually feeding your soul? The salah is the key. So you might not understand it, but what I would say to you, Lucas, is number one, you accept and I accept there is a creator, if I'm not mistaken. You believe in a higher power, I think.
Yes.
Okay. That higher power could not put us here without purpose. It's an insult to him. That's why I started believing in religion, because I was like you before. I said, how is it possible? Yeah, I believe you exist, but I'm here without purpose. It's an
You
insult.
could have just put us here and said, like, you figure it out yourself.
That's not the God. You see what that is? That's not the God we worship. You know why? Because how is it, for example, that the person who made my shoes gave it a purpose? God gave me no purpose. What an insult that a mere human being gives purpose to things he makes, and God gave me no purpose. It's an insult to him. He has to give you a purpose. That's what Allah says. Do you think we created the heavens and the earth with no purpose? Yeah, and here's just a toy? No, it's not. So what I would say is, get to know Allah. Put everything to a side. Get to know who is your Lord.
How do I do that?
Very simple. Ask, look, first thing you need to do is, number one, I would say stop coming to Speaker's Corner. But it's up to you, I can't force you. Take a time where you're like, okay. And I'm only saying this because I see sincerity in you. If I saw you're not sincere, I would just say, look, all the best in the future. Pray to God. If you believe him, say, look, God, I genuinely believe if it's Christianity, Islam, Buddhism,
I've done that
Sikhism.
many times and God
Okay,
doesn't answer.
okay.
He
No,
gives
one
me-
second. No, 1 second. He doesn't answer you? How do you know he didn't answer you? But you're telling me you left Islam because of drinking cups of water, which it didn't make sense, and not pray and praying didn't make sense to you. Okay, 1 second. How is that God to blame when he's guided you and you left it because of something you
He's
dislike?
guided me to only drink water with my right hand.
No, you don't need to. Let me tell you
So
something.
what
Let me
kind
tell
of
you something.
guidance is that?
Let me tell you something. It's not that deep. Let me tell you something. It is better that you stay in Islam and drink with your left hand. Drink with your left hand. It's not the bro. These are issues that are no. These are prophetic, bro. Like not the Sunnah, of course. What I'm saying is, bro, why would you leave Islam because of? If you came and said to me,
That's just a small example.
No, I know,
This
but
is, like,
but
talk about Tawheed.
yeah,
and all
I
of that,
understand.
and the 5 pillars.
But no. Okay, no. You need to come to me with those. Now, come and say to me, yo, the concept of God in Islam is a problem. Let's talk. But you're telling me about zipping water with your free
But that's
and prayer.
You even said it's pathetic.
No, I did not say it's pathetic. I said for you to leave Islam because of that is pathetic.
Yeah.
I never said the action is the sunnah is from the Prophet. How can I be pathetic to that? Yeah? Before the super Salafis and Shamsi cut it. Ali Dawah, Mubtadi, yeah, they're going to do that. Cut, yeah, look what he said. That's why he's misguided. Anyways, yeah, they do that, cut, baby. Yeah, now they're crying because I clarified it. Oh no. Yes. The point is this: what issues do you have that are major that made you leave?
What I said, like about Tawheed, about.
Oh, good. What about Tawheed?
I mean, to be honest, I'm quite tired. I can't.
No problem. Take a rest. I'm here again.
All right.
Look at the face focus. Thank you very much. Take care. Is there any mics on you? Okay, no problem. Thank you.